So, last time, you guys kind of muddled your way through your ending of a trial within the city of Ember, or the Kingdom of Ember and the city of Dimcairn. Made your way out of the city, said your goodbyes, some heartfelt tears from amongst those that still wildly support you. And you left through the gate castle, finding yourselves back out into the so quiet and damp tunnels of the underdark. And over the course of a few days, you stretched out, making your way towards where you hope to find the Neverlight Grove. Stool having the so vaguest of ideas of where to head, almost a pull within themselves, kind of helping you there. And I believe it was on your third day, as you guys came to rest, you decided to set out the egg, and using some spells kind of created this icy cocoon / nest for it in the hopes that that might help aid its process of hatching along. You settle down to rest, and as you do, Scylla taking the first watch, eventually with Dawn's Edge kind of keeping an eye as well in her own weird sentient way, notice that someone seems to be walking by, these odd cloppings of what you would later find to be hooves of this black, red-eyed, four-horned satyr man with a odd rusted scythe by his side and this kind of dark cloak kind of wrapped about them. They noticed your presence, and eventually, after some kind of soft honeyed words, you all settled back into your little cave where they started talking, asking you if you had noticed anything odd about the Underdark, as they were on a mission by their goddess of a sort. And their name, this almost unpronounceable by human or mortal lips. However, Sephel, you are able to understand it, speaking deep speech. And finally, he asks you, what do you know of Dagon? And that's where we pick ourselves back up.
I feel like Starcaller just like head just pivots towards Scylla.
What do you know of Dagon?
I am afraid I do not know much, but other than him being in a vast and powerful creature trapped within the abyss, that he waits, like all the other great ones, for his time to come. But it seems something has released him. Now he wanders somewhere deep below the earth here.
You say that he is trapped?
He was trapped.
And now he is free?
Yes.
I know of Dagon because I am also from the Deep Lake.
What is this Deep Lake? Is this a place somewhere here within the Underdark?
Yes. This is... well, without directions. It is a very vast body of water here in the Underdark, and my people have communities within it. Thousands. And those thousands are dead due to Dagon.
Oh, so this must have been what I felt. The cries out into the darkness. His hunger being satiated.
You were there?
No. I feel a great many things through the mother. She tells me of them, speaks in my ears. I heard but a whisper of their voices.
And, what is your plan with this Dagon, do you wish to meet them in battle?
I most certainly do not hope so. If anything, I wish to return them to their resting place. It is not their time.
And you know how to do this?
Not currently, no. The mother has not granted me with this knowledge of yet. But considering I have not found them, it would not seem right that I would have that knowledge. I hope she blesses me with it when the time comes.
I'm sorry, This is not your biological mother.
No.
It is a religious deity?
Some worship her in that way, such as myself, but she did give birth to me once again, blessing me with this more powerful form, you see.
You also mentioned that they were released. Do you know by who?
That I do not know, but I would be most curious to find out whom this person was, or is. For it is no small means to release a god.
And, yes, a god of a certain sort, I believe that. And this Dagon is not the only one. I believe, Sephel, in your travels, you came across another one of these beings. I've met lesser ones, but still many more besides, crawling the tunnels.
Yes, we had the misfortune of coming across Demogorgon at Sloopadoop, or I suppose the underwater cavern formerly known as Sloopadoop.
Well, I can tell you Demogorgon is not of the greater old ones, but a threat nonetheless, one rivaling upon Dagon's own power.
What? And this might be more of a philosophical difference here. How many beings belong to this echelon of great ones that you speak of?
Oh, a vast many, some still lost amongst the cosmos. I could think of 20 that bear some semblance of a name that we might pronounce, but only Dagon is currently here amongst us, which is a threat unparalleled. Such is the same with Demogorgon. If they are released here.
So would you say that you were walking without direction, but your mother was guiding you to us?
It would seem so, considering the knowledge you carry. But what is your aim?
I would not speak for my colleagues, but I would see Dagon gone.
No, she speaks for us. That's pretty much the gist.
Yeah, we're anti-Dagon here.
I will speak for you in the future then.
Pretty vehemently anti-demon old one thing.
Well, this does suit my purposes for the moment. Though the time for them will come far beyond my lifetime, so I see no cause for there to be crosswords between us, ill feelings.
What do you eat?
Whatever I may find, whether it be meat or fine tubers that I find amongst the tunnels.
Okay.
I am guessing my form lends you to believe that this is not the truth.
I do not know you. It is not that I do not believe you, it is that your visage is alarming and unknown. But that can be said by others of us.
I wave my tentacles a little bit.
No, it is true. This is an awfully rare company to be seated amongst those of us many would deem unnatural.
This might be just a guess, but I would say that if you do not have a direction in mind, then I would take this as a sign that we are heading in the right direction.
Seeing as I do indeed not know the way to this dark lake where I might find Dagon, I be curious to accompany you for a little while, if this is agreeable to all of you.
Agreed. Oh, did you want to talk about it first, Sephel?
Sorry, Scylla, I literally just said you speak for us. I know I'm being very confusing. Forgive me. I just simply... We've spoken a lot, and it seems like the one consistent thing is that you don't know. What is it exactly that we stand to benefit from walking with you?
This is a really good question. And as you're thinking about this, Sephel, I want you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay. All right. Uh, 17.
Okay. You don't notice anything, but he all of a sudden is beside you, like sitting right beside you. It doesn't even look like he's moved, and you're like, oh yeah, he's been sitting there the whole time. And he's like, well, I bear a certain amount of restorative magics of a certain nature, but the mother has blessed me with many things that can do both harm and healing.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
And his large head with his horns kind of like leans forward and sweeps, looking around the cavern at both Starcaller and Scylla. And what are the two of you thinking?
Scylla's thinking that they've gone through a lot of difficult obstacles and lost some people as a result, whether those people are dead or in bad condition, and then it never hurts to have another person around.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a... Oh, shit. Oh, God, I didn't have my sheet open. Can you please?
It's okay.
10.
Okay. He's right beside you. And...
Oh!
He goes, you have lost a great many people, I feel. This is something that worries you now.
Don't like
it is something that always worries me in the Underdark.
Yes, no, this is a very dangerous place.
She's gonna look at him directly and think, are you in my mind right now?
Well, here's the thing. The fact that he's beside you doesn't alarm you. To you, he's been sitting there the whole time.
Okay, what about Sephel, who also just had the same exact thought and now sees him next to?
Everything's fine. He's been sitting there the whole time.
This is real fucking... okay.
Starcaller, what are you thinking about?
I feel like the Starcaller is cross between thinking, well, I mean, it's always good to have more cannon fodder for when shit hits the fan, and, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But also, this dude is, like, explicitly demon associated, and he is explicitly trying to rid the Underdark of demons. Not terribly trusting, but not gonna rock the boat either. Just gonna keep a close eye on our little friend here.
Yeah. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Natural 20, total 24.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
You see him sitting next to Scylla, and you know, just a moment before he was somehow on the other side of the fire, or not the fire, but the small space that you're in next to Sephel, and then he just appeared next to Scylla. And as you're thinking these things, his large goat head like looks towards you, and he gets up and he goes, "So you need someone willing to fall upon the blade, someone who could take the slings and arrows of your enemies. This I can also do." And you see he takes his scythe and he just slits his throat, and just black blood just scatters everywhere upon the cavern. But then he's sitting right next to you, watching himself die, and he goes, "This I could also do for you, Star Collar."
And what is the price of this magic you wield, demon?
Well, I am no demon. This is not the case. But I think you see something beyond what is happening. And you see, like, his cloak, it's starting to, like, move, and it has, like, these black, inky tentacles, and he goes, "Yes, you do see that this is, in fact, not real. I am indeed here. But I mean you no harm. I am truly a friend. This is all but a precaution for my own safety, as I am alone and there are 4 of you."
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
18.
You believe the words are spoken with absolute sincerity. However, as he's saying this, his form starts to like twist into this odd miasma. Like, you can still see him, but it's like, gosh, I forget what the art style is. There's a really famous painting and an artist who, like, I think it's like a desert background, and there's like a watch that is like melting.
Dolly.
Dolly, yes. Is it surrealism? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like your world right now, and everything you're seeing just is like seemingly melting and molding. Even Sephel and Scylla are like warping in odd ways, and his voice sounds oddly distorted, but you feel truth, you feel sincerity here. But you also sense, within yourself, you have this sense of calm, that something about what's happening right now isn't actually happening. You think that this is a dream.
I want to pop a quick divine sense.
Okay.
Does our friend have... Is his creature type celestial fiend or undead in any way?
No. But you cast this magic, and you see his like form kind of coming back together, not so warped anymore, and he goes, "I am not a demon. Again, I am not your enemy. But I could be." And he becomes this large form that just fills up. You see horns and goat mouths and eyes spawning within the entire space, and then it reverts back to himself, and he goes, "But I think we are all amiable here."
Artemis like smiles, like a slow but very wide smile. "Well, my new friend, it is good to see you as you are. And I agree. We are aligned at the moment."
Wonderful. Then this game can end. And he snaps his fingers, and you, Starcaller, Sephel, and Scylla all startle awake. And you see Ivan sitting across the cavern near the opening, sitting in the same position he was before. And you realize what happened was all a dream.
Do I think that the dreaming started when Sephel asked him About his power, or was the whole time?
You're not sure.
Hmm.
You're not sure when reality ended and the dream began.
I think Scylla is standing with her trident out, looking at Starcaller and Sephel like, didn't like that.
No, very uncomfortable.
I feel like Starcrawl is just like still like hand is on Dawn's edge, but kind of like reclining in like a cavalierly relaxed pose. Like, if he wanted us to be dead, we'd already be dead.
This one is quite perceptive. No, and he nods to you, Starcaller. But he takes his scythe and he lays it down upon the ground. He goes, "This can stay here or be kept by one of you if you would feel better."
So you want a scythe?
Mm-hmm.
I would request that it is returned to me eventually, should trouble arise.
I think you should hang on to it. If we are aligned, consider this a trust exercise.
Wonderful. And he...
But how would we know that we are not in another dream?
What, I am very much real now. Do you feel like you could do something abnormal, something you could only do in a dream?
Do I?
You may cut me if you want.
Yeah, I think she's gonna like slowly approach them and like slowly grab their arm and just do a little prick with the end of her trident.
Okay. And where are you pricking him on his arm?
I'd say on like the meat of his forearm.
Okay. He doesn't wince. He doesn't make a sound, but your trident pierces into real flesh. The touch of his arm that you hold, it's hairy and warm. And you see red blood starting to trickle out of the wound as you pull it away. And he goes, "Is this enough for you, or do you need more?"
This is sufficient for me. Sephel?
Not much of a stabber.
Is there something else that we may do to gain your trust?
Stay out of my mind.
I will do my best.
Good.
I think we should all do our best.
he leans back and he like raises his head and he closes his eyes and he starts muttering in this almost unintelligible language, but Sephel, you pick up on it and he's like, "Oh, mother, please bless me with your mighty healing." And you see this almost like what would look like black stitching, almost like squirming over his wound, and eventually that small piercing wound disappears. He goes, "Thank you, mother." The other thing that you guys notice now that you're out of the dream is that Stool is there.
Oh.
And you didn't have Dawn's Edge in the dream, Starcaller, nor was the egg there either. You only thought so. And the other thing, as like time goes on, is that you remember he made no mention about these things, or that Stool was there. But Stool's just like, wow, that was weird. This dude just walked in and he's just been sitting there for like 10 minutes, guys. This has been a little weird.
And you didn't wake us up, Stool? What are you doing?
Listen, when a goat man comes in with scythe and y'all don't move, I was lost. Okay.
That's some bottom of the food chain shit right there, man. What are we doing here?
Well, technically you're fungus, which is different, but
That is true. I'm different. I'm powerful. I probably should have done something more. I'm sorry.
Hey, no harm, no foul, Stool.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're like...
I don't know. I think that's a pretty significant foul.
Well, I mean, I'll admit, I would have got up and probably tried to hit him if, something had happened to you, but I wasn't sure what was happening, and he didn't make any, like, moves to hurt you guys, so I was like, okay, you can chill.
It is all right, Stool. No one will enact vengeance on you.
Thank you. What?
Don't worry about it.
I'm a little worried.
Sephel's
Everything's
cracking a joke.
worrisome right now.
Correct.
I'm just trying to get home.
Oh. Did we... This is trippy. Did we actually sleep?
You did.
Okay.
In fact, you all got a long night's rest.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But convenient.
It is...
Have weird goat dreams, wake up with a long rest.
Hey, we've all had some weird goat dreams in our time, am I right?
No.
No.
Even
Wow.
when I was working on the farm and had to milk goats, no.
Wow, way to abandon me, guys.
I would have been worse had you had them then.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel well rested, and I'm happy to continue on, Starcaller.
Indeed, I was about to say we should. He looked over at Sephel. We'll have to move our experiment, but I think we should keep moving.
Yes, let's gather that real quickly. What has anything happened with the egg overnight?
You haven't seen any expanding of cracks or anything like that within it. Do you have like a way of trying to sense if there's life or anything within it? Or do you just try to hold the egg, see if there's any stirrings within?
I mean, I would be holding it while, like, I'm removing it from its little chrysalis, deal.
Don't forget that these eggs are pretty large, by the way. They're like
Yes.
4 feet tall and almost like 3 feet in diameter.
Yes. But I believe that you described this one as being like super lightweight due to
It is
type of
lightweight,
dragon.
but it's large.
It's large. So I think I would like put my hands to it and see if there are any rumblings within.
Roll me an insight check.
8.
You're not sure, but everything that you know about these particular dragons wouldn't lead you to believe that you've done it any harm. It just might need a little more time, a little more consistency of cold. If you maybe perhaps do this for a little while longer, every time you sit down for a long enough rest, it should maybe move things along, accelerate the process.
Sure.
It's clearly close when the I almost said Bahir, but it's not Bahir. What are their? The Winter Hag has a different name, and it begins with a B.
Bior.
Is that it?
Yes, like it's a bunch of syllables all slammed together. It's like Bior.
It's weird. I'm just gonna say Winter Hag for the moment. She was there for a while, and her influence kind of created this icy, cold environment that definitely helped it along. So you think if you do this for a little while longer, you'll probably get some more stirrings.
Cool. All right, I will somehow get that back into the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It gets sucked back in there. It's not a big deal.
Stool?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Yep. Lead us on with your grove brain, whatever it is that you do.
Sure. Here's the thing. I'm not putting my spores over to that dude. I don't know, but like...
That's probably fair.
Okay, good. I just want to let you guys know, in case he was like, why isn't he talking to me? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I just wanted you to have my back.
Yeah. Wait, Stool. Does that mean that if I notify your spores to work, they have to like go back to you? Is that how this works? I've never really thought too hard about it. It's like a
not
two-way
necessarily.
process?
It's more like the spores go in, and then you hear me, and I just hear you. Don't think about it too much. Don't. Hey, Starcaller.
Yep.
Don't think about it.
Well, I'm convinced. I'm not going to think about it.
After the last, 5 hours or so, I'm starting to think my brain needs a consent form.
Shh. Don't think about it.
I need an adult.
Stool.
He comes over and he grabs your tentacles. He's rubbing them. He's like, shh, don't worry about it.
Okay, this is getting a little
Ooh, we're still in the dream. He tiptoes away and he's waving his arms ooh.
I wake up covered in ectoplasm.
Not again. No, not another goat dream.
He goes, no, I'll lead the way.
Stool, if you're not going to share your spores with our new friend, then would it be better if we acted as though you are a simpleton and that you are,
Don't you do that anyways?
I was going to say I'm doing that already.
Wow,
I
guys.
don't.
Uncool.
Hey, Stool knows where he stands with me. We have a mutual respect and hatred.
I don't hate you. Why would you say that?
Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, okay, secrets. You got it. And so he edges around the small opening from the cavern, staying away from Ivan, and Ivan's just staring at him, just is everything okay? Is there a problem?
Yes, I've enchanted this toadstool to guide our way to the grove.
Oh, this is not a magnet.
No.
Oh, this is wonderful magic. I would like to hear more about it on our journey forward.
I am incredibly powerful, but I keep this close to the chest, you understand. Onward!
Possibly never been secrets.
Everything
okay.
is fine.
So everybody roll survival checks for me.
I love rolling survival checks for you, Will.
I
don't.
not do so good, but that matches because he has no fucking idea where he's going. Still did great. What's everybody got?
5.
Also
Ooh.
5.
Jesus. 15.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Whew. Coming through, Wizard Man. All right.
Minus 10. No, I got a 15.
It's very slow, rough going this day. As you traverse through the tunnels, more and more fungi starts to kind of crowd in. You're often going single file. You're having to kind of go sideways and kind of scoot your way in, fungus kind of flapping and hitting you in the face. You're having to break off tubers. Stool's kind of oh, this one's edible, you should grab that one. And I think we're getting a bit closer. Do you hear it? Do you hear the song? All of you make perception checks.
No.
No.
I might hear the song. 19.
Yeah, I probably don't. That's a 6. How loud's the song, Will? Metallica loud?
DMX is opening up his concert right next to you in your front row.
Damn.
I can hear it at 6. Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get there, Scylla, again?
8.
8, okay.
That's
Sephel,
fine. I'll just carry you guys again tonight.
You
That'd be great.
almost feel like you hear something, but you're not sure because so many things weirdly, sound so weirdly travels throughout the tunnels of the Underdark. You don't know if it's the sweep of a robe of yours that just happens to echo throughout. But you're I could have sworn I heard a melody, but maybe not. Go ahead.
I hear nothing. Anyone?
That's a no for me.
Weird. It's hard to tell. I think.
I'm not sure what this sound is supposed to be, but Stool looks to be pretty animated and excited. And he's no, we're getting closer. I'm pretty sure it's this way. And he continues to lead you on, and you come through a couple different crisscrossing patterns, and he is actually a bit more adept at this time to like move through these thickets of fungi that are appearing more and more throughout these tunnels. And who is behind him out of you guys?
Probably Scylla.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scylla's in the lead.
Out
Yeah.
of pure ego, I also would be close behind because I enchanted this mushroom.
Okay, so you're still like holding up the charade to Ivan.
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like Stool and then Sephel and Scylla side by side.
Yes.
Okay. At this particular junction, you can't be side by side, but I imagine Sephel is right behind you. Starcaller, do you have Ivan in front of you, or do you let him bring up the rear?
I'll keep him in front of me, so I'll take up the rear, keep my eyes on our friend.
I imagine as the day has progressed that Dawn's Edge is, you get this sense of unease from her about, or I should say them, from Ivan, but not a sense of hostility. It's just this sense of like, what he spoke of, and I imagine you kind of like talked about the dream that you had with them. Just this vague uneasiness from them. But you guys are moving through, and Scylla, eventually you actually lose sight of Stool as you're going through these tunnels, and eventually you come through to a almost like an intersection, and you see that there are two tunnels before you, one kind of branching to the left and one kind of branching to the right.
Yeah, she bursts forward and Stool, mushroom.
And you almost hear like this faint call. You can see like this faint, almost like mistiness of spores kind of trickling within this area before the tunnels, and you almost feel like you hear his voice like, it's this way.
Oh, this is eerie.
Follow the hallucinogens.
Follow the visions. Where's the white rabbit?
Yeah, I have to be honest that the number of hallucinations and dream states is very unsettling.
No, this place is an entire ecosystem of abusive relationships. Let's not think too hard on it.
All right.
Don't think about it.
Okay. Onward.
Where are you going? You going to the left or to the right?
We're gonna follow wherever that voice is.
It's hard to tell. You got to pick.
Oh.
SpaghettiOs.
Stool, if you could say left or right.
You don't hear anything.
Of course.
You're welcome to try to do something else to try and track him down, or you can roll survival if you want to see if he's left any tracks.
Yeah, I'll make a survival check, look for traps. Is that on the table?
Tracks, not traps. But if you want to look for traps, sure.
No, screw tracks. So, I mean, screw traps. I want tracks.
Okay,
tracks
roll
over
survival.
traps. 7.
Yeah, you see what looks like his kind of weirdly odd-shaped footprints going off to the left, but you see similar shaped ones also going to the right.
I think he went to the left.
I have been given no reason to doubt you thus far.
Left?
Left it is then.
Okay,
I
so
will be looking
Starcaller,
for-
are you now leading the way, or is Scylla still heading you guys up?
Yes, Starcaller, are you now a dirty liar, or like where are we at with that?
No, I would never lie dirty. I would lead the way if Scylla's comfortable with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So Starcaller, you start heading down the left side tunnel, and it starts to get very winding, and every once in a while you see another branch, to the left or to the right, and you hear Stool's voice intermittently, all of you just like, this way guys, this way, it's this way, I promise, right this way. And you're going and going, and I imagine like you guys are getting a little bit nervous about this. Yes?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I don't love that. Don't love that.
I
at
was
all.
nervous when we came across the first intersection.
I was nervous when a goat walked in my dreams.
I mean, yeah. Bleh.
No.
New fear unlocked for Brendan. So you keep chasing these sounds, and you guys all start to get more and more uncomfortable, these sounds, and now you hear other noises, kind of like moans and like scrabbling, like echoing through these tunnels. And I need you all to roll a madness check.
Oh.
Cool.
Do we have to, though?
Yes.
Yeah, what do we just do?
If you don't, I will kick you off the podcast.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Okay.
Got pretty aggro there, huh, guys? All right.
Don't.
13, my guy.
You're okay. Sephel.
Oh, I want to let Scylla go first because I'm a gentleman.
Okay. Bogey.
You ain't never been a gentleman before.
Hey.
11.
Someone agreed to marry
You're
me.
okay.
5.
Sephel, as all these voices and the echoes of stool and all these other noises start to come over you, you get this overwhelming, panicking sense that you're lost, and wherever Starcaller is leading you is just wrong. And as the next intersection comes up and Starcaller picks another way, you panic and you start sprinting off in the other direction. You are truly terrified at this moment that something is waiting for you around the very next corner.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, immediately Scylla's like, Sephel, stop! We cannot split up! And
She's going to lead us into the dams.
Stop! We will go together. She's chasing him.
So you turn around as soon as he starts like yelling and screaming and running off in the other direction.
100%.
Sephel, you are like swiping away fungus in front of you. Sweat is coming down your face. Your robes are twisting up around you, and more about the visions and things in front of you grow darker and more twisted and disgusting. And eventually you turn around the very next corner and you just see this horrible beaked creature with these large hooks.
No.
You see an eye is missing, but a tuber starts growing out of it. More fungus is all over it, and it just silently stands there, inches away from your face. And it just stands there. One lifeless eye, tubers and fungus growing all about its body. And what do you do? You're still panicked and afraid, but you are within some kind of control of yourself now.
I'm going to just very slowly back away.
You start backing away. You hear both Scylla and Starcaller and even Ivan, their calls echoing in the distance. You hear them trying to get closer to you. And as you back away, make a nature check.
Okay. $17.
You know that this creature before you is called a hook horror. But its form has been twisted and covered in all these tumorous fungal growths all about it. And the haze that kind of slowly coalesces about Stool when he speaks to you all seems to kind of be like almost swirling about it as well. And it's just watching you. And you realize that this creature is dead, but somehow alive. And as you back away, a handful of feet kind of going back down the tunnel, it turns and just starts, like, disjointedly walking farther down the tunnel that it looked to be coming from. Until eventually it disappears out of sight. And Scylla and Starcaller, you catch up to Sephel. You see him standing there in shock.
I hate this place.
Sephel, what are you doing?
Are you alright? Have you calmed down?
A little bit. More so shocked by something else.
What is it?
I don't know if we should be turning away from this path or continuing on it. Are any of you familiar with a hooked horse? It doesn't matter. A creature that seems to be consumed by fungus, but it went back that way.
Well, we're looking for things consumed by fungus, so maybe that's where we should go.
That was my thinking.
You hear this soft squishing sound starting to come up behind all of you. Ivan turns and is like, "This is most strange, is it not, my friends?" And you all turn and you see what looks like a drow covered in these fungal growths, walking towards you.
Perhaps we should hurry and head down the path you indicated, Sephel.
It seems they're all going this way. Perhaps they'll lead us to the grove.
I'm in.
Why not?
I think Scylla will pick up the pace and start going in the direction of that hooked horror.
Okay. Sephel indicates, and you start heading down that way. You all are making your way through the caverns. You hear that of that drow following you all. It's getting fainter and fainter as you make faster progress than it. But eventually you two come up behind the hook horror. And as you're moving rather loudly behind it, it makes no motion indicating that it hears you or any such way. But eventually you come into a cavern, and there you see, walking out of another tunnel almost directly beside you guys, is Stool, who goes, "There you are. Gosh, and you found one. You found a servant. This is great. Oh, guys, now we're going to get to the grove."
A servant?
Yeah, no, the elders, they make the servants to help us tend to the different circles and provide for their young.
I'm not certain how to feel.
What do you mean?
I think she's just like a little confused about like how they, I don't know.
Does Scylla ask or inquire further, or she just kind of stare at Stool like, what the
I think
fuck?
she's staring in the hopes that somebody else asks.
Okay.
Stool, just wondering here, buddy, so is like the myconoid brain control like a thing that happens a lot?
Not normally. The sovereigns, they usually, if anybody in the circle of hunters finds, a dead body or any such, they'll bring it back. And if it's not left to help with the growth of the colony, sometimes the sovereigns, the elder sovereigns, they turn them into spore servants, and then they help us tend to the grove, help us grow.
So it's fine. It's just recycling.
Yeah, pretty much.
We all love recycling.
I don't know what that truly means, but you know what? Something about the way you said it, I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. It's cool.
And you have also recycled. You are part of recycling.
Yeah, no, I kind of am. That was new to me, and I don't know if I could do it again, honestly. I'm much bigger and more grown than I was expecting to be for a long time. I'm almost sovereign size. That's pretty big.
Yes. Truly, you have grown not only in words and deeds, but also in physical mass.
Thanks.
Should we follow still?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, this one's gonna go back to the Grove, and I'm almost home, guys.
This is a joyous occasion, Stool.
No, really, I truly thank you, Sephel. Honestly, you and Indigo and Laura and all the others, and you, Starcaller, and you, Scylla, you've helped me a lot to get here, and I'll never forget it. And I hope you know you'll always have a home at the Grove. You can even stay if you want to, but I know you kind of liked the Kingdom of Ember a lot, so I don't blame you if you don't stay.
You're, as always, very understanding, Stool.
I would need to see the Grove before I made any decisions.
Oh, well, come on then. We don't have to wait anymore.
Well, come on then.
Let's go, Zilligoose. You move that little fishy butt up.
Oh, shit. Yeah, she smiles and feels a little better and starts to follow Stool again.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Gotta change up the music here. You start walking again, following after Stool. And after only a little while, Sephel, you start hearing that same, once very faint sound of almost humming and music start to reach your ears again. And now Scylla and Artomis and even Ivan start to pick up on it. It's this soft and very pleasing sound to your ears, and it brings a sense of calm over all of you that you probably haven't felt, at least in a few days, especially after the very recent hysterics, not even 20-30 minutes ago, Sephel kind of losing their cool. And as you do, the tunnel starts to widen up a bit further until eventually this path opens up into a much larger space. You see before you this wide stretching cavern, absolutely covered with all shapes and sizes of odd fungi, many that you've seen and some that you haven't seen before within the Underdark. You see stalactites and stalagmites in the different distance. You see these odd terraces kind of moving up and down along the side walls. You see before you is what looks like almost like a small pond of a sort with this very clear but also dark water. And Stool opens up and this song gets even louder as you all enter into this space. You see what looks like a fungal forest not far off to the right, and this cavern seems to stretch on for a very long way before you lose track of it. In the end, but he goes, "Oh, we're here, you guys." You hear water trickling down from various places, forming these pools. This luminescent like lichen grows along the cavern floor and spreads all over the small and larger mushrooms, bathing everything in these soft hues of yellow, blue, and violet, and dim light suffuses everywhere over this grove, almost giving it a dreamlike quality. Everything seems once again very surreal. I imagine one of you maybe pinches yourself, like, is Ivan making me dream again? Like, what's up? But you realize everything is real. And Stool says, welcome to the grove, guys.
It is beautiful, Stool.
It really is. Thank you.
I can't help but notice that there aren't any demons.
Well, I mean, I would sure hope not.
And everyone seems to be acting fine.
Well, I don't see anybody right now. But maybe probably towards the central basin, past the fungal wilds, we'll probably find the sovereigns, Basidia and Philo.
I think we should head there first.
Absolutely.
So you guys start following Stool as they kind of lead you. You see all these terraces, and as you come out more and more, you're passing along this kind of clear water pond, and as you're moving about, you see these pale cream and like beige stalks that grow really thick and tall, and they almost resemble, to those of you that have seen it, a like surface world forest. The fungi grows in profusion everywhere, and it's hard to find anything resembling a path between them as you reach this kind of raised area here. The giant caps of zirkwood mushrooms obscure your view of the cavern's ceiling, but luminescent fungi there give off kind of like this shimmering aura, and with each step that you guys take, the ground, what kind of comes up is this scent of decay about you. It's like you're walking on compost, this like mossy, soft floor of what's crossing through your mind as you hear this music and this ethereal quality to everything.
I think on Starcaller's part, he's very heartened to find another kind of, at least what seems to be another island of calm in an otherwise very difficult to process, spot. It seems like a pretty chill place so far.
Yeah. No, this is pretty much like the city of Dimcairn. Very calm and almost.
Yeah, I think this place really speaks to Scylla, who's used to a natural environment, and particularly this little pond looks right up her alley. This has a home feeling.
Nice. Sephel, what do you think?
It's all just very weird and surreal. This is totally out of, Sephel's normal environment. And I kind of think it's just like sensory overload for him. Like he's trying to process everything and trying to take in everything, and it's just so much.
Yeah. Okay. Eventually you guys you cross over this little stream. If you guys can move your tokens on the map, follow your Stool here. By the way, every square that you are moving through is 10 feet. This place is huge.
Cool.
Eventually you cross over this small stream, and as you do, you pass over like these odd kind of mounds within the ground where it looks like freshly tilled dirt resides over for them, and you see small new fungi starting to kind of grow out of them. And Stool kind of points out to them and goes, don't be alarmed. I know this is very different for you all and very normal for me, but these are the bodies of those of us that pass, or from those that servants find that don't become new servants. We allow them to join with us in our life cycle here.
It's beautiful recycling.
Thank you. I think I'll better understand it eventually, that word.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys press on, and eventually you come through to this lower depression, and so beyond the mud and mushrooms that spread across this cavern, and the large pool that sits in the midst of this fungal grove, eventually you come upon a mound that seems to be the only dry spot in sight. And though a small cliff kind of rises above the cavern floor, across the clearing, and on it are these giant mushrooms visible in the distance. The bioluminescent fungi trace strange kind of constellations along the cavern ceilings and walls, the bits that you can pick out amongst these zirkwood trees, and showing the darkness of the ravine. And you actually see far beyond a kind of like mist-shrouded smaller cavern. But there, amongst this central mound, you see these familiar shapes of myconids, all kind of similar to Stool, but all in odd, different shapes. And you see, standing amongst them are two much, much taller ones. Almost 15 to 20 feet tall. You see one with this kind of like odd crown going up, and it's got these pink and greenish kind of hues. And then you see one with like this large purple thin, what would look like a sun hat almost growth. And they have more of a pale stalk-like body with these purplish fungi that kind of grow off their arms and legs. And you see that they kind of stand swaying in a circle, and as you get closer, the song gets louder and louder. And Stool comes up and he's like, "Oh, they must be melding. It must be the end of today's harvest. Come on. And he like races up towards the circle, and he, the two much taller myconids turn, and one of them, the one with this kind of like odd crown, is like, "Oh, Stool, you've come back to us. Oh, and just in time for the great surprise. It's wonderful to see you again." And the other large kind of purplish myconid turns as well, and she goes, "Oh, Stool, welcome back. Oh, it's so good to see you. Where have you been?" And Stool runs up and he's like motor mouthing it, and a lot of the other myconid that were kind of like in the circle start coming up to him, and they notice you all as well, and they start kind of like waddling towards you. You see some about the size that Stool was when you first met him, Sephel, kind of this toadstool shape. And these voices are like, "Who are you? Where are you from? What strangers are these?" And like this cacophony of voices, but it all carries this crazy melody until eventually that crowned myconid comes forward. He goes, "Welcome, guests, to the Neverlight Grove. I am Sovereign Philo. This is my partner, Sovereign Basidua. What can we do for you on the eve of our great celebration?" And that's where we'll end it today.
Well, boy howdy, how about the end of that episode? That was a good one, and I'm not just saying that at the end of every episode. But I am here with more news. Yes, this is another update for our outro. We've got a couple great things going on. The first of which is we're going to be launching our first sanity check, which is a new segment we're going to do every couple months to just update all of our listeners about the great things that we have going on. So kind of like an outro, but it's going to have the whole cast, and we'll be talking about all the different things in the pipeline that we're working on for the podcast. The first one of those is going to come out in April of 2023. The other thing that we're doing that is super fun is I'm actually running a one-shot with the gang. It's a little bit of a mini adventure. We've already recorded 2 episodes. We suspect there'll be 6, although depends on how they go through the story. So we'll be posting the first of those here pretty shortly as well. And then lastly, I just want to remind everybody about our socials. We've got memes dropping every Monday over on Twitter at The Madness Table. We've got an Instagram page that you can catch us on as well. And Will has been dropping some banger TikToks, so you can find us at The Madness Table over there as well. And I guess the last thing I'll mention is if you're interested in supporting us, if you're loving the show and want to toss a coin to your Witchers, that's us. It's going to be ko-fi.com/The Madness Table. And that's it. Until next time, when
the madness continues.